as the drivers in the qualifying heat for C versus E groups will head out on track once more. So here is the grid in full. Thomas Fleming and Hugo Besson from Rivaldo van der Westerleken and Sebastian Hedin. Santiago Valve and Sam Shaw from Hugo Arendi and Paul Cayos. Miguel Silva and Louis Johnston-Cool. Duan Pasalaigua and Ruben Moya from Gabriel Stilp and Eric Genet. Alex Martinez and Adrian Mustienes. Then it is Noah Maton and Eduardo Villa from Max Schleimer and Alberto Paul. So we'll see how they go as the battle is going to rejoin. It looks as though Venink is going to get started at the end of the pit lane and will join in after everybody else has gone through. But for Fleming and Besson, it's going to be a start. Is it from the get-go? Yes, it is. Green flag, and away we go. First corner. No problems for Fleming as he holds on in front of Van der Westerleken and Santivalve. Oh, and there's a problem before the race even got going. That's the 319, I'm afraid. That is the karting pro machine of Luca Desgrange. Luca Desgrange had a problem before we even got started. So, disaster for Luca Desgrange. His race is already over. And there's a spin at turn 4. Several karts in trouble. And one of them, unbelievably, is Alejandro Huguet, who already had bad luck. And now he's had even more. So through they come. And it is the LN kart chassis of Thomas Fleming who leads the way. And there's another retirement. My goodness, it's not a good start to the day for several drivers out there. That's Hugo Gillard. So Hugo Gillard is out of the race now as well. But we continue on battling away around the course. There is the tight-knit battle, and Fleming is just in front of Alve with Rivaldo van der Westerleken in third position, and in fourth, that is Sebastian Hedin. Bring it on, game on. Home straight, turn 2 is coming up. It's going to be the main overtaking point on the circuit for Valve if he wants to go for it nice and early. He decides against it. Rivaldo van der Westerleken holds on in third. Hedin in fourth place. Paul Cayos has made a go. Oh, problems further back. 2 or 3 karts in trouble there. And it looks as though we've had a kart driver actually come out of the kart at turn 2. So a big moment there. And I have a feeling we're going to go to yellows as a result of this. It looks like a driver in a bad way. Into the pits comes one of the Leclerc chassis. That is the 275 of Bo Heimans. So there are problems. Yep, one driver out of the kart. It's one of the Monlau Competition. Oh no, sorry, that's one of the Birrell Arts in dire straits there. That looks like Alex Martinez and Duan Aluya who have come out of the karts there. So it looks like it's going to be a fairly chaotic start to racing. But the battles are well and truly joined. Looks like we've had another couple of incidents on turn 4 as well. Yellow flag, yellow flag. I thought we were going to have one, and that looks like a problem for Ruben Moya. Ruben Moya's had a problem there. So his race is over as well. That's a real shame for the Spanish driver, but the slowboards are out on track. We're under yellow flag conditions. I think Ruben Moya's had a problem with Hugo Martinez and Alex Martinez and Hugo Arendi. So several drivers out of the race there. I think Hugo Arendi's just pulled up. There's a nice littering of karts around the circuit now. And it looks to me as though the 2 drivers that were involved in that first lap incident, Alex Martinez and Duan Aluya, have now been escorted from the scene. It's a little bit of an awkward moment, but I think both drivers are able to walk away, thank goodness. Well, we just needed the yellow flags to sort that one out. So a bit of a nasty scare, but I think we are going to be able to take up the restart just in time for Santivalve to lead the race. He just managed to get past Thomas Fleming before the yellow flags came out. So we're under yellow flag conditions. Great work from the marshals and officials to make sure the race can still run, but the drivers can be escorted from the scene in safety. So I think we'll have one more lap behind the yellows, just because of the timing of where the clean-up job has been done. And the marshals and officials will be there to ensure that the circuit is clear. There is a rather uncomfortable moment for Duan Aluya and Alex Martinez, the 2 drivers able to walk away. It looked worse than it was for Duan Aluya, but fortunately he is okay. Ruben Moya out of the race as well. So too is Bo Heimans, Hugo Gillard and Luca Desgrange. A lot of drivers on the sidelines then. Just 30 of them still circulating. And that's why there was such a desperation for Alejandro Huguet to get back on the circuit, because with drivers retiring, you move up the ranks. And even though he's in dead last, that is now 30th rather than 36th. So Santivalve in front of Thomas Fleming and Rivaldo van der Westerlaken, Sebastian Hedin, Paul Cayos, Hugo Besson and Louis Johnston Cool. From Stilp, Shaw, Silva, Genet, Villa, Pasalaigua, Schleimer, Arias and Maton. So some good battles coming in from the drivers as they prepare themselves for another tight race. Here we go. And green, 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 green. We are racing and Santivalve's got the perfect restart. Excellent for him. Thomas Fleming in second from Rivaldo van der Westerlaken. We are green, 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 green. So racing continues and we're on lap 5 out of 9. It's only going to give 5 laps of racing to the checkered flag. But 2:46, Santivalve for the Mole Racing team is out in front on his Birolart and doing a great job in the lead. Second is Thomas Fleming. Third is Rivaldo van der Westerlaken. And these three have already started to get a little way clear of Sebastian Hedin. Drivers are running out of opportunities to make good moves, so they need to get on with it. Out through the hairpin, van der Westerlaken trying to hustle Thomas Fleming into a mistake. So far so good for the race leader Santivalve, and there goes van der Westerlaken, slides in on Tom Fleming. So Fleming has to concede and drops to third behind van der Westerlaken. So the Dimes Racing driver into second place. Sebastian Hedin is taking Paul Cayos along for the journey. So there's going to be 5 of them down the home straight. Valve, van der Westerlaken, Fleming, Hedin, Cayos. 6th place Hugo Besson in front of Gabe Stilp. So this is already a very good starting position as Paul Cayos is going to get his move on Hedin. They're side by side, and I think Stilp went for Besson as well. And he got there. So Gabe Stilp has managed to get himself into 6th position. Cayos is into 4th and Stilp is into 6th. Good overtakes. So Santivalve still leads the way for Spain and for the Birolart. Second, Rivaldo van der Westerlaken, the Dutchman. And then in third, it is the British driver Thomas Fleming on the Lando Norris kart chassis. So some great battles to come here this weekend, and we are definitely in the midst of one. Valve checks over his shoulder, knows that van der Westerlaken is there. So Santivalve running a great race. Rivaldo van der Westerlaken looking comfortable in second. Thomas Fleming is third. Paul Cayos, the other Spanish driver, in 4th position, and in 5th place it is Sebastian Hedin of Sweden. Onto the home straight. Look at Gabe Stilp in P6, he's catching them. He's got a great setup in the dry, and it looks as though the Croc Promotions driver might be about to take a leaf out of the book of Kalai Atkins and Caden McQueen, the regular Croc Promotions front runners in Europe. I think Gabe Stilp is stepping up. There we go, a 1:03.6. That's the fastest lap we've had all weekend so far. Excellent run from Gabe Stilp as he continues to find speed around the course. But what are we going to see in terms of his fight through the field? He's currently behind Sebastian Hedin, who has dropped a little way off the top quartet. But Stilp is charging after the Swedish driver in P5. So Santivalve, Rivaldo van der Westerlaken, Tom Fleming, Paul Cayos, Sebastian Hedin and Gabriel Stilp. Still they run in formation. Hugo Besson in 7th place ahead of Sam Shaw. Eric Genet and the 2:27 is next to Miguel Silva from Louis Johnston Cool and Noah Maton, although he's just lost out to Eduardo Villa. Here we go for the lead up the inside. Tom Fleming is going to have to sit and watch as Rivaldo van der Westerlaken moves up into 1st position ahead of Santivalve. 2 laps to go. But Rivaldo van der Westerlaken hits the front for the first time, and Paul Cayos now makes his move on Fleming. So Paul Cayos into 3rd position. The 2 Spanish drivers now going to chase after Rivaldo van der Westerlaken, with Fleming just hoping he can keep in touch. 5th place is Gabe Stilp. He's made his move on Hedin. Has he got time in the last lap and a half to catch up to these 4? With Valve going for the lead, he may get his opportunity. Valve takes the lead. Van der Westerlaken is backed into Cayos and Fleming. So now the real race for victory begins. Here comes Cayos, making his bid on van der Westerlaken. No chance, says the Dutchman. Holds on a 2nd place. Here comes Cayos again. No, I've already told you once, you're not getting through. Van der Westerlaken maintains 2nd place. Needs to stay in the draft. And as they come onto the home stretch, he's gesturing to Cayos. Come on, work with me. A big opportunity. Thwarted by Valve. Here comes Cayos, side by side with van der Westerlaken, and he's through. Fleming's there as well. Fleming squeezes by to 3rd. Awesome. And now the Spanish drivers will battle for supremacy. Fleming is sat there in third, waiting for his chance to come through. Valve hangs on from Chaos. Stilp is catching all of them. Stilp's going to get his run on Van der Westerlaken if they're not careful. So Valve and Chaos. Stilp is going for it on the inside and through to fourth. Great move from Stilp. So Gabe Stilp is now P4 in Senior X30. Santi Valve and Paul Chaos, the two Spaniards, they'll know this track like the back of their hand. Valve parks the kart in the middle of the road, holds the inside. What can Chaos do? Fleming's got to stay very alert here. There could be a run to the line. If these two jockey for position, he may get the slipstream. Chaos has an opportunity. Valve's going to have the move, but is Chaos going to have the slipstream? He goes for it, side by side. And it's Chaos. Chaos gets it. 0.03 of a second to the better. Oh, wow. Absolutely mega. Paul Chaos snatches it from Valve at the death. Just sensational from Paul Chaos. That was amazing. Right to the end. Never gave up hope. That's the thing about this circuit. If you get a good exit out of the penultimate corner, you can use the slipstream, pop out to the left, and gun it across the line. And Paul Chaos, by 0.03 of a second, snatches the win from Santi Valve. That just shows you, doesn't it? You never give up. You never say die. You haven't won the race until that checkered flag falls and you get there first. Amazing. What a run from Paul Chaos. He always had a tricky time as a junior. Now he's a senior. All that bad luck is ancient history. An awesome drive from Paul Chaos Rivero. He gets the win from Santi Valve and Thomas Fleming. Gabriel Stilp, a brilliant drive to fourth ahead of Sebastian Nadine and Hugo Besson. Frustration for Rivaldo van der Westerlaken ahead of Sam Shaw, Eric Genet and Miguel Silva. Eduardo Villa, close but no cigar. Ivan Arias comes into 12th in front of Noah Maton and Angus Mulsdale. Adrian Mustienes in front of Juan Pasalaigua. Louis Johnston Cool struggles in front of Maxi Schleimer. And then Alberto Paul comes home in front of Arthur Valsort. From Jaime Sanz, Lars Vennick, William Louis, Hugo Arendi, Federico Scalvini, Ariandro Huguet and Gabriel Nicolay. The retirements, well, we lost 3 of them in one go. Luis Alves, Gaspard Lagaye and Nathan Joliet all tangled on the final lap, unfortunately. Ruben Moya, Alex Martinez and Juan Aluya were all out on the second. Bo Heymans, Hugo Gillard and Luca Desgrange were all out on lap 1.